This is a digital DJ tips review of the Traktor Z1 or Z1 Mk2. It's for Traktor software and it's designed to work with that software and provide mixer capabilities. In other words, it's a modular controller. You might think you've seen something like this before, and if you did, you'd be right because they made one a long time ago now. This is it, the Traktor Control, as it used to be called then, Z1 Mk1. And this is a direct replacement for that unit. It's designed to look like the Traktor Control X1 Mk3, which we will talk about in a little while. So it's got the same styling as that updated model. It's got the same LEDs underneath it, which can light up and give you information about your loops and whether your sync is slipping off and other bits of information along those lines. So they're not just to make it look pretty. And it's got screens on the top as well, which the old one didn't have, which, as you're going to see, are pretty useful. So around the back it's pretty similar, but we also now have an 1/8" output as well as an RCA output for the audio, and we have the same old style USB, and it doesn't have a power input anymore, but that's fine. Again, as we'll move on to, you don't need the power input. And around the front of it, it's got a single input for an 1/8" headphone jack. So this is a audio interface and a software mixer. It's important to get your head around that. Some people don't. It's not a mixer in the traditional sense like this one here. You can't plug in record decks and CDJs and all that stuff. It's just designed to control Traktor software. It can actually control 4 decks of Traktor software because, as you'll see, there's a switch here to switch between them. But you're going to need a way to control those decks because out of the box it doesn't even have any transport controls or anything. You can't start the decks playing and stop them playing using this. Right, so let's have a talk through what it's got. So starting from the very bottom, crossfader, up faders, effects on and off. So this will turn on and off whatever you have set here, and it's got a effects knob there as well, so this is going to turn the effects in the same way that it does on the bigger controllers. It's like a filter knob if you have filter set or the other effects. Then we've got a 3-band EQ, gain, a main output, and these are the headphones controls. Let's start some music playing then and take a look in a little bit more detail. How are we going to start that music playing then if we haven't got anything to do with the transport controls built into this thing? Well, there's actually 2 ways you can do that. If you really want to go minimal, then in the software, you can click on the settings and go down to the settings that come with the Traktor Control Z1 Mk2, and then you can select from all of these drop downs here what the individual buttons do. So you can, for instance, let me just click on this one, reassign buttons to be play, sync, cue, and skip to start. So you could have a very basic player in just this one unit, and you could indeed be DJing with just this one unit, but that's not what it's designed to do. What it's designed to do is work alongside the Traktor Control X1 Mk3, which I have here. So this is the X1 Mk3. And as you can see, it's got the same styling, but this is our deck controller. So this will control 2 decks, and if you want to control 4 decks, you can get another one, have it on the other side, and then have a very compact modular 4-deck controller. But this has got my transport buttons on. It's got full effects control as opposed to just basic effects control here. Loops, cues, and all that stuff. It's all on here. So this is designed to be paired with this. I'm just going to use this to hit the play button, basically. Right, let's have a look then. So here we have our master output volume for the channel, and here we have our master output on the screens at the top here, which is just for the whole output. So we've got 2 sets of meters going on here. This won't do anything until this is turned on. When that's turned on, we get filter. And this is the big button that tells this control to control filter, because it can also control the 4 mixer effects. So first, so notice that this is the same color as this, which is nice. Switch to this one, it goes green. So as you can hear, we've got 4 effects here, but there are more mixer effects. You can select the ones you want to be on these buttons inside the Traktor software itself. So as well as these being assigned to these two, you can assign them individually. If you notice, as I change the effect here, it changes here in color. So this is red, that's also red now. This is the green effect, this is the blue. But you can do them individually by holding down the effect and then pressing it. So this is now red, but this is remain blue. So you can have a different effect on each one, which is a nice thing on the bigger Traktor controllers, and it's carried across to this controller in that way. This will take us back to filter. Okay, let's move up and look at these then. So we've got standard EQs here. So this is the effects one, remember. So this is our first EQ, the low. Notice at the top, it's telling us where we are. That's quite important, as is this display. I'll tell you why in a second. Mid. And we've also got the gain control at the top here, all being shown on the screen here, which is quite nice. Now, the reason that this is working as EQ is that this is pressed here to this mode here, which is EQ mode. But if I press this button here, it switches us into stems mode. So as long as we've got a stems track loaded on our decks, which I have here, playing away on deck number 1 is a stems track, then this tells us how the stems are set up. And then now our knobs here control stems and not EQs. So instead of having a low, mid, high and gain, I've now got the different stems controls going on here. So for instance, now did you notice that didn't do anything at the beginning? And did you notice there was a little arrow here? That's called soft takeover, and that's designed to take over from whatever the controls were set to before. Because this was a gain control before, so if I switch back to here, this is now gain, right? So look, see the little arrow there that's saying up? That's telling me that until I move this to 47, it won't work. Right, I got there, and now the gain control is back in, right? So that is now set for gain, but now if I go back to the stems, then I try and move it, it's telling me, no, to control the drums, I've got to go down here till I get to 0. Right, now I can control the drums. And the idea of this is that these controls can then be used for all kinds of things, not just for one function. So it will be available for drums, it will be available for gain on this deck, and if I switch to this deck here, then it will be available for gain on that deck as well. And the way to take over is to follow the arrow there. It's called soft takeover. You move to where it would have been set had you not moved it in another function, and it will take over. Just trust me if it's a bit confusing. With the screens, it's quite intuitive and you get used to it really quickly. So we're back here, we're back on the stems. Notice here it's telling me that the vocals are now mixed in. That's the bottom, the little V, but all the others are out. If I bring the drums back in, you'll see that the drums will fade in on there as well. After a second it'll go back, and there the drums are on there as well now. So you get a little intuitive readout of where you're set on all of these functions. Okay, so we've looked at basically everything it's got, because it's a simple device. It's a mixer designed to pair with the secondary unit that will go on the left and another one on the right in order to give you your full setup should you want it. And so this one really is the unsexy but necessary bit in the middle. But that said, the improvements are really meaningful. The screens work well, they're very visible, they're nice and easy to see from all angles and all that kind of stuff. These buttons all make sense, the way they control the different functions makes sense, the way we switch from decks A, B and C and D. Again, it's very obvious what you're controlling. I love the way that these could be configured, so you could have individual effects going on each one. And around the back of the unit, now I can show you the full setup now that I've moved the X1 in. So what I've actually got set up here is on the X1, I have some power going in, and then this is now acting as a hub because it's got USB sockets on the back. So I've got a USB cable going from the back of the X1 into the back of the Z1 or the Z1 here, and that's now providing power to this unit, and I've got more sockets on the back so I could plug an extra one in if I wanted, and so the whole lot would be all together with the hub here controlling it all, and then there'd be one single lead going off to the laptop. So if you haven't got many inputs on the laptop, I haven't, it's a MacBook Air here, then the whole lot can go there with one USB cable. Finally, of course, here's our headphones buttons, and here's our headphones mix and headphones volume alongside the main volume control there. And that's it. So the improvements are meaningful over this one because Traktor has moved on a lot. The version of Traktor that's out now has got the stems in it. It's got flexible beat gridding. It's got streaming services. It's got all kinds of new stuff that wasn't around when this one was made. And some of that stuff does need extra control. In the instance we're talking about here on the Z1, the extra control is for the stems, but combined with this one here, you're getting a lot more control than you got over the original X1 or the X1 Mk2 and the original Z1. So a meaningful replacement for this one. You might be asking, are they going to come out with this one? This was the F1, which was originally made for the remix decks and something else called the stems decks. I don't know if they're going to make another one of these. I mean, these two are both now pretty out of date and they don't look quite as cool, but I don't know. I've got no idea whether they're going to make another one of those or not. With or without the power, the headphones are nice and loud, and the audio quality out the back there is excellent. But just to reiterate, yes, there's two sockets around the back now. There's an 1/8 inch socket and there's also an RCA, but it's feeding the same output. It's still got a 4-out audio interface. Just because there's an extra socket, it doesn't mean that you can feed anything different through it. They are both feeding exactly the same. It's just your choice of what you plug into it. So we were the first people to say Traktor's dead, they're not doing anything, it's being left alone. And all of a sudden in the last year or two, new hardware, updates to the software, things changing for the better in the Traktor world. Are you a Traktor user? Are you using these? How are you using them? What are you pairing them with? Do you like it? Are you thinking of upgrading from the old ones? Do you wish they'd add an F1? Do let us know in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear from you Traktor users if you're happy with the way Traktor is going and if you've got this gear, what you think of it. But this has been the Digital DJ Tips look at the Traktor Z1. I probably called it the Control Z1 Mk2 erroneously a couple of times because that's what it used to be called. It's just the Traktor Z1 now. They've dropped the control entirely from it. Let us know what you think. Meanwhile, this has been Phil in the studio with another review. Now get good, get out there, make the moments, and I'll see you again very soon.